Okay then, so hello guys and welcome to the much awaited Noob Championship. It's here, it's episode 1 in Australia, first race of the season. I tell you what, it was an absolute pleasure to race in it, and I can tell you already, as you can see by the length of this video, it lasted a hell of a lot longer than the first sort of pre-season race of the season, so I was absolutely pumped for this, like seriously. So qualifying first, let's just see what happens, and then let's get a real sense of how it was. You can already see just how difficult it actually is just getting out the pit lane, so that was an interesting one. So we did this out lap, which actually went pretty successfully, and then you know the first lap we did actually went pretty successfully as well. You know, we're coming around the last sector here, someone there goes into the pits, which I wish they hadn't, because I'd have got their DRS, but we activate DRS, go nicely through the gears, maybe a little bit too much revving, but we come through and do a 1:34.9, which is pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. You know, it was a 33 out there, and then we went in, put on a set of soft tyres, and then we did this. Yeah, so I felt like a little bit of a dick when I did that, to be honest, because it was all going so well, and I just needed consistency, and then I did that. So that didn't go particularly well, but yeah, we ditched the softs and then put on a set of super soft tyres. And went round. You can already see that we're 2 seconds up, which is pretty nice. We were doing well on this lap. It wasn't our fastest lap, but we were clean. It was a clean lap, well, up until about here, but we had a good exit here as well, which really helped. We can already see that we've gained about 4 or 5 tenths through there. Power through, DRS open, run up to the line. We are probably about 2.5 seconds up by the end of this lap, and we get P7, 2.8 seconds off the lead, but I was pretty happy with that. But we are going to move up thanks to grid penalties and stuff. I'm loving the talking in the background there. You might be able to hear that, I don't know, but there was a lot of talk going on. It was a great lobby to be in, so fun. You got to sort of talk to people in here, so that was pretty fun as well. But yeah, so we'll move up into P7 in that, so I was pretty happy. Well, P6, because Matty G did a lap just to sort of get timings right and to see that. So we move on to the race. As you can see, strategy's pretty simple, but it didn't go that simple, so we thought put in a load of fuel, which actually was a good idea because we kept revving it really, really high. So we put in a load of fuel, got that strategy set. We know if we started on the super soft, something might happen, and yeah, it invariably did. So this is a formation lap, so I just wanted to get out firstly and get, you know, a decent, you know, sort of a good feel for the car, a good feel for how the sort of conditions were and stuff. So the guy in front was actually on soft, so that was a really good effort by him. He does deserve a lot of credit for getting on the softs in 5th place above me. So yeah, I was pretty damn happy about that. So you can see already there are people off. Look, there's Pepsi Max here that was off in front. And well, let's just have a look of how that went. So you might have seen him in the left mirror, just comes round the outside, and then just sort of tries to, I don't know what he was doing, and then we get reset to the grid. So I was not particularly happy with that. He started wheel spinning. I don't know how he was managing to do that. I don't know if he was actually doing it, but yeah, that's what happened. I wasn't particularly happy. Yeah, look how many people were on the grid. I think someone was just saying it now. Look how many people were on the grid. It was unreal. So 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights as we start off this race in the Noob Championship. We are off. Pretty decent start actually. A better start than quite a lot of people. I was very, very happy with this. Down the inside of Uncut Rat, Pepsi Max in front, Matty G went off the track, so we put up into 4th place. Brilliant start, and then we just get an absolute snap of oversteer coming through that corner as we just take too much of it, and yeah, that's what happened. And we were a little bit, I was really irritated with that because the start was really good, and yeah, so we lock up through here. I think we cut off Jay Corrigan there, which I don't think he was particularly happy with. And then we get overtaken by quite a few people with just that start. The start was good, and then the sort of first couple of corners, I was just a little bit nervous. I could feel the nerves. So we get on this guy, we got a much better exit. We go down the inside, side by side here, and he would have cut us off if we didn't actually back out of that. So I was very happy that I did back out of that. The fact that he didn't leave me much room if I didn't. So you can already see the tyre wear is like 17%. It's not great. So we go down the inside here, and we do lock up, but we do make that move vaguely stick. So we do try and plant the power, and we do that actually pretty well. So we do make that one stick, and I was very, very happy with that one. As you can see, the two guys up ahead are fighting, but our middle sector was where we were really good in the middle sector. I think we had a purple middle sector at one point in qualifying, and yeah, the middle sector was a real strong point for us. So you can already see I'm just going to monitor the fuel. I think for this entire race I was monitoring the fuel, but I got to stop these lockups. And Reggie Bear comes out in front of me, and we really had to slow down because else it was going to go really badly. not forgetting that I had damage. You can already see here in the chat maybe that there was someone going off. There's Corrigan off, look, so he was going into the pits. I don't know why. And then we go wide, and that allows Reggie Bear up the inside. And I think he does get us because he's just so much better on the, you know, when to change gear and stuff. I don't know if he's ever run, you know, gears or not. I don't know. But we do look for a move down the inside, and well, we actually do make that vaguely stick. But we do tap tyres, and thankfully none of us actually spin out from that, so that was really good. But we are still slipstreaming him slightly. We're just looking for the move here, and I just got to stop locking up. We don't lock up if that's something to look at, and then he just spins. Oh wow, that was amazing. So we did pick up the pieces there, and already after lap 2 there's a guy already a lap down, really struggling here. Spins out in front of me, but he is struggling unbelievably so. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. So we're now coming to the end of lap 2 here. We are catching up a couple of people. This guy's actually, oh no, it's Uncooked Rattler who was on the soft tyre in front of us. He was massively ahead of us, and now he's gone into some issues. We had a really good rhythm going. So we were catching up Jamie Olga ahead, who's actually one of XMATG's friends. It was actually going really well this phase of the race. We were doing really well, and we do make that move stick absolutely beautifully. And then yes, yeah, we did that. We just got too greedy on the throttle, and it didn't work. But there was one thing I definitely noticed from this, and I don't know if XMATG had done it purposely or whether it was accidental, or I don't really know. That was close, Jesus. Jamie Olga has retired from this race. I don't know what happened to him, but he is out of this race by the looks of it. He's wheel spun it up here, and he's just spun it straight into the wall. Yeah, look, there he is. He's gone straight into the wall, and there we go. So that was his race over. But yeah, I didn't feel any damage, and then he's gone into the wall as well. So illegal overtake, but I know that went away. But yeah, damage was on, you know, simulation damage, but it wasn't like realistic. It wasn't going. And then yeah, great one there. We could have easily lost our wheel actually. Having looked at this again, we could have easily lost our wheel. Twixie19 is out of this race as well, so there were some people really struggling. So we decided to put on lap 4 and put on a set of medium tyres here to make sure that we did that right. So we did make sure that we did brake quite a lot down here, and we nearly did what we did in the pre-season, just lock it up going into the pits and lose a wheel, but thankfully we didn't do that. But yeah, damage was sort of, it was on, you know, you could physically see the damage, but it wasn't making an impact. So that really actually helped me long term in the race, because it meant that I wasn't losing any time by, well, crashing into walls basically. So that was, I think that helped quite a lot of us in the end. I think there was quite a few of us that lost end plates and wings and stuff, and didn't feel it. But 10.3 seconds, I really wanted to get out, but we're still in 10th place here, so I was positive for that. But I don't think these tyres are going to last just by the fact that we keep locking up, like for example there. We need to stop locking up, so yeah, if we stop that, then that would be good. And then we get a snap of oversteer, and thankfully we didn't lose any of our wing. But you can see here that we are catching up to more cars here. Absolutely beautifully done, nicely through here. And I think we lost it. We did lose it slightly, but thankfully we didn't lose any of our front wing. We get passed by Pepti Max there as well, who qualified actually really high, was doing really well. And then it all just sort of went to pot. Oh wow, that was close. That was very close there to being a really big impact. And then we just run completely wide. Because that's Reggie Bear that's gone up the inside of us, and yeah, so we are now in 11th place. We just dropped outside the point for that error. That was actually really disappointing to have that error. So yeah, that was a little bit irritating, but you know, we are still in this race. 10th place. I think there was someone in the pits there. Yeah, there is. Our teammates in the pits. I don't think we're too far away from being lapped already through our mistakes, but that was beautiful through that. I'll tell you what, if we did that in qualifying, we're on for a really good lap. But gap behind 7.1 seconds. There's a nice gap behind us, which was really nice. Teammate in the pits, strangely a different font to what it is offline, which was really weird. There's Reggie Bear having another mistake there, and we have another snap of oversteer as well. And then we just spin the rear tyres up trying to get off. So yeah, another bit of damage, but the only thing that's going to cost us is some time in the pit stops, about 6 seconds in the pit stop. So I wish I hadn't done that, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse, I can tell you. It definitely could have been a hell of a lot worse. So yeah, we're still definitely in this race. We're up into 9th place now if we move on to lap 7. I think due to pit stops and people retiring and stuff. No, it's not. It's P9. Sorry, so I don't know why I think that's... I know, I did say P9. I was just getting really confused, and then we spin the tyres up again. So we lose more of our own plate, and look, we puncture the left rear tyre. So look at that. So from P9, we punctured our left rear tyre on a race that was actually going really well for us. I think quite a lot of us found the Australian track really tricky, because there was a lot of walls there and a lot of sort of... There was quite a lot of 90-degree corners, but a lot of heavy braking, which was really difficult. Bahrain next week doesn't have so many heavy braking zones. It's just a case of feeling the track. There's a couple of heavy braking, especially that left-hander that goes into left-hander, and speeding in the pit lane. It's simple errors like a drive-through penalty, which is going to cost us even more time. Which again, it's just these silly errors. It's the comical errors. I was really trying to concentrate. I was sat in silence. I was listening to the chats that was going on in the background. I was just sat there concentrating, wheel everything. Another 10-second pit stop as well. So I was really trying to concentrate, and yeah, it didn't really help. I was still having a calamity of errors. And then there we go. There's someone going out in front. I think that was second place maybe, and another lock-up. That was actually a rear-end lock-up. So nicely through here, absolutely beautifully, gorgeous. So as we come through on lap 9, we are in 12th position on the soft tyre. These soft tyres will go to the end, and then we just make that corner too shallow, and yeah. And we just lock up and then crash it straight into the wall. I don't think we had any front wing anyway from maybe an earlier instant or something. But yeah, so that was really disappointing to have that. There's yellow flags everywhere through here, so we had to serve this drive-through penalty now. Still in 12th position on the soft tyre, so we had to serve this drive-through penalty. Else, yeah, as the engineer is saying, we had to be disqualified. So we did serve this drive-through penalty now, as well. Yeah, obviously. Someone off in the gravel, I've just noticed on the minimap. But we did have a nice little gap behind us to December. I was not making the same mistake of going speeding into the pit lane again. We were 36 miles an hour. Out of 37, which was our highest that we could actually possibly be. So that was a little bit tight, to be honest. But December's actually, I think, going to get us here. Or is that first place? Uncooked Rat has retired from this race. Wow, so he's retired as well. So now it's becoming survival the fittest. There's only 13 people left in this race. We are 12th. So, it wasn't looking particularly great. But I'll tell you what, to finish first you have to finish. And we were finishing. So it was going really well. I think the guy in front, that was really shallow line. And there we go, a 3-second time penalty. I think we already had one anyway. I think by the end of this race we totaled up 9 seconds worth of penalties. But there's been a retirement, and I believe, I can't remember who that is. Oh no, that's Uncooked Rat that did retire. And we've now gone past the point where he did retire. So yeah, so we move on now to lap 11. And Jay Corrigan has retired from this race. So I believe within 4th or 5th place. That was really disappointing from him. He has stopped up in the early part of the middle sector. So we had a really good job, and then yeah, on lap 13 we were lapped twice, which I was really disappointed with. But I was just too inconsistent, too many spins, too many crashes. But another guy in front I think he had one instant, and that was about it. So he drove a really good race. We come home in 10th place to pick up a single point, but it is a point. It is a point in this race, and I was so happy with that singular point. You have no idea. And then we just see my teammate here, Rickson, who you'll probably see a little bit on my channel further on. He was 30 seconds behind the lead, but he was still in 2nd place. So that was really good by him as well. Really good effort. So we got, I think, what's that? That's 19 points for the Constructors. I don't know if we're doing Constructors, but it's 19 points, so that's really good actually. Just watching the end of this race just to see sort of how people are going. So there's Teak Quickshare, who had a really good, I think he had a decent race until about now. I think he was really struggling to do I think he was struggling with tyre wear at the end of this race. He was a minute or so behind the leader. I don't think he was, oh no, he was on the final lead lap. He was actually on the lead lap, so it was only just by the sounds of it on the lead lap, which was interesting. But yeah, we just went for the finish to cross the line. We've crossed the line in 10th, so our job is done. I was very happy with 10th, to be honest. I don't know if the soft tyre would last any longer, but I completely forgot that we were lapped, to be honest. So I didn't actually use the rich mixed fuel that we had. So we had loads of rich mixture left, and we didn't actually use it. So there's Callum 180. Doing 180 actually to try and get round, and he did actually get overtaken there. I think that's by I can't remember who that's by. I think that's beginning with someone else beginning with C, but I can't remember. For 8th place, so he did actually get overtaken there, which I think he was really disappointed with. Oh no, it was TJLAFC. So I think he was quite disappointed. But 2 laps down, with the first one with 2 laps down, there was quite a gap between me and Callum 180, I believe. Although it might not have been actually that huge. Might only have been about 10-15 seconds, which could have been made up, to be honest, with a spin. So yeah, so there's the final lead order. Oh my God, it's Joe with the winner of the race. Obviously, X-Mac Noble down at the bottom for obvious reasons. So there's only 18 runners in this race. Not everyone was able to join. So oh my God, it's Joe won the race by quite a long way. Actually, it's about 9 seconds worth of pit stop. So yeah, it was a really good race from him. Thoroughly deserved that. It was fast all weekend. I was watching his live stream actually later while I was actually doing this, and he was really consistent. He was really good, so he did deserve it. So yeah, this has been the first episode of the Noob Championship. Absolutely, you know, an amazing honour to actually be in this championship. To get a point was amazing. The fact that I did struggle, I had so many instances in that race. I lost my tyre in the first sector. In the middle of the race, which really did affect our race. I reckon if we didn't do that, we'd probably be inside the top 7 or 8, to be honest. So yeah, that's how racing goes. That's how it happened. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You know, check out obviously XMattyG's video. I'm pretty sure you probably would have done already if you're following my channel. Obviously, you know, I hope you enjoyed this one. There's obviously loads of guys in this, so I'm sure are doing YouTube videos. So make sure you check them out. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe if you're new, of course, for more F1, Noob Championship, and other gaming content. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.